Valentine's Day is right around the corner. In honor of Valentine's Day, I want to try to have a contest. My contest is I want to see videos of your worst first date you ever had. So I thought I'd share mine, maybe spark ideas in you for what was your worst first date ever. I had known this girl named Stacy for years. We set a time to go out on a date. We were going to have dinner. Went and picked her up, and we went to a sports bar, kind of burger joint, and we each ordered hamburgers. I took my first bite. The second that I took the bite, I knew something went wrong. I just felt something some suction or something happened in my mouth. And immediately took my tongue and felt around for teeth and noticed that my fake front tooth was missing. This caused two problems. Number one of the least attractive things you can have on a first date is a big gap in where you used to have a tooth. Didn't kind of convey the sexiness I was going for that night. Number two, I had no idea at the time where in my mouth the tooth was. So I sat there with a mouthful of food, not chewing. She could tell I wasn't chewing. She had to think something was up. But I sat there, and with my tongue I was kind of feeling through the hamburger piece that I had in there to try to find the tooth. I found it. And very quickly manipulated the tooth away from the hamburger, put the tooth in my cheek, swallowed the hamburger, and then tried to figure out what the hell I was going to do to replace my tooth. Because when you have a fake tooth, they just put a post up there, and the tooth slips over the post, and so without a tooth, I just have a post sticking there. It's not that I don't have a tooth, it's that not only do I not have a tooth, I have a metal post sticking out of my mouth. Incredibly attractive, especially when you're starting with this. I quickly excused myself from the table and went into the bathroom and assessed the situation. I hadn't broken the crown that was on the post. However, I tried to slip it back on, and it just, gravity takes over and it falls off. So I took out a piece of gum, chewed it up a little bit, get it nice and soft, and then I shoved it into the fake tooth, and then shoved the fake tooth onto the post. It was holding enough that I could talk, and it wasn't just going to fall out. Well, went back to the table, tried to figure out how I was going to still eat my hamburger. I had taken one bite. By this time I had cold sweats running. I was nervous. I felt like an idiot. Dinner ended. We went back to her place to watch movies. As we were watching movies, having a couple drinks, and the mood was right. Everything was perfect. And she leaned in for a kiss. I was going to kiss her because I was afraid of what was going to happen. So she leaned in for the kiss. I leaned back, and she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you liked me." I told her I do like you. "Well, why don't you want to kiss me?" "I just don't think we're ready for it yet." We started having a few more drinks. The mood was right, and she was looking wonderful. And our conversation had far too many lulls in it. She went in for the kiss again. So I went ahead and I went in for the kiss. We had a very wonderful, splendid, inebriated kiss that lasted for probably 10 seconds or so. Pulled back away from the kiss, and she still had her eyes closed because it was so romantic, and then apparently just such a wonderful kiss. And I noticed very quickly that she had a string coming from her mouth, a very thin string of gum. At which time, I took my tongue and felt I didn't have my tooth anymore. She had thought, because she tasted the gum, she thought I was being romantic and that I had placed my gum in her mouth. Little did she know, it wasn't gum, it was my tooth. She quickly realized it when she tried to bite down to chew my gum and hit something really hard. She freaked out, she spit the tooth at me, went in the bathroom. Apparently it made her nauseous to have my tooth in her mouth, and the date ended rather badly. That is my worst first date. And by the way, that was my only date with her. I want to hear your worst first date. Put in a video response. The winner will get a special surprise from me. Voting on this will not be voted on strictly by me. Once we get X amount of video responses, then I'm going to leave it up to all of you to comment on my original one of which video response you thought would be best. This accomplishes two things. Number one, it makes it so nobody can blame me for being biased for choosing anyone's video. Number two, I'll get some comments and I'll be able to be number 30 something on the most commented English people list again, and that just felt kind of good. So send me your videos.